Yo, what's up, everybody? Kevin here. Welcome to the Snowboard Pro Camp live chat. We'll be on for the next hour to answer all your snowboard questions and also talk to you guys about some of the upcoming snowboard summer trip plans. So excited to talk to you guys about that. Also, some of the new gear I've managed to pick up over the last few weeks, and also some of the snowboard YouTubers I'm going to have the chance with to do some collab videos with in the upcoming weeks. So excited to talk to you guys. Before we get into all that, let's get into some shout outs and see if anyone has the first question. Let's see what everyone's saying on here. So we have got, man, tons of people in the chat. We got Sep on here, L Stacker as always, Highland Cow watching from the UK, Noah, Cyper X Snowboarding, Calvin, what's up guys? Thanks for all tuning in so early. Ricky Chamberlain, Emilian Popoff, and Rob McWilliams. Thank you guys all so much for hopping on here early. And yeah, everyone's let me know too where they're watching from. So yeah, when you ask your question, it'd be great to hear where everyone's watching from as well. But yeah, feel free to hit me up with any questions, whether it's to do with beginner snowboard questions, gear advice, trick tips, even like snowboard trip advice. Definitely hit me up with anything that's on your guys' mind. At the moment, for myself, I'm starting to put things together for a summer snowboarding trip down to Mount Hood to ride with the High Cascade Snowboard Camp. So I've been going there the last few years. It's an amazing place for snowboarding. And so yeah, I'm going there this Sunday and I'm going to be snowboarding for about 5 days, 5 or 6, actually I think it's 6 days. And then back here on the 12th. So a 7-day trip down to Oregon, down to Mount Hood. And yeah, really excited to ride with everyone at High Cascade. So yeah, let me know if you guys have any summer or winter snowboard trip plans. I know for a lot of people down in New Zealand, Australia, South America, it's your guys' winter. So if you guys have some news on snowboarding down south, let us know as well. All right. Zachary saying coming to Whistler next January. What's the snow like towards the end of January? Let's try and get up. I'll be there for 4 days. Amazing, man. Yeah, definitely, Zachary. Whistler, January, it's a good time to come. Like, it's the middle of winter. A lot of earlier in the November, December, sometimes the entire mountain isn't fully filled in with snow. So usually by January, everything's filled in. All the chairs are open. The park is in full swing. So January is definitely a good time. It's probably one of the coldest months as well. So you have the cold weather combined with hopefully lots of snow. It just gives you, I think, the best chance for some good snowboarding. So January is, yeah, it's a great time to come to Whistler. So hopefully I'll get to meet up and do some laps with you. That'd be amazing. All right, we got Benny saying, season just about to start in Australia. Any tips for workouts or best stretches? Awesome, man. Yeah, so if your season's about to get underway in Australia and you're looking for some stuff you can do to kind of prep for the season, like a few things that I do a lot of like hiking around here in Whistler. So if you have the chance to do some hikes, I think that's really great for your legs, keeping your legs in shape. Also, like if you have the chance to like, I don't know, like do something cardio wise, like swimming or running, I feel like those things help as well. But stuff like, off-season stuff too, like skateboarding or doing trampoline training, that kind of stuff can help prepare you for the upcoming season. And then for stretching, some things that I like to do is like just get into a habit of stretching for 30 minutes or an hour a day, like working on getting into a squat, stretching your hamstrings, doing some different leg stretches, some kind of like twisting stretches as well. There's definitely some stuff online that can help you with a different stretching routines. and just find stuff that you enjoy to do too, and kind of like work that into like an hour stretch session. I try to do half an hour to an hour of stretching every day, and I definitely find that it helps, especially with some of the stretches where you have to twist, because in snowboarding there's lots of like twisting happening. So if you can find like poses where you're kind of getting into a stretch, but you're also doing some twists, all that kind of stuff can help. Maybe I'll do a video for the channel on some of the stretches I do, but there's already some videos out there to help you out as well. So yeah, get into it. Maybe start off just doing the stretches that you know, and then add on to them by just discovering more, like looking online and finding out more. But yeah, it's a really good one. I feel like different people are sort of tight in different ways too. So finding those stretches that like help you work on those tight areas. But good question, man. A million pop off with the first super chat says, "Hey Kev, I ended up buying the Mind Expander today. So stoked. Thanks for putting input on all the boards last week. Also stoked for you getting the Ultra Mind Expander. Amazing. Yeah, hashtag DWCP. So yeah, stoked, man. The Mind Expander is a super fun board. Like, I haven't owned it myself, but I've seen Andreas, TJ, our friend Bo, a bunch of our friends who have that board, the Mind Expander, who have rode it in powder or over in Japan, who like really enjoy riding that board. So the feedback that I've gotten about the Mind Expander is that it's like that pure surfy feel. So if you enjoy riding through the trees, just getting those like swervy, easy turns through the powder, I think it's very maneuverable because of the 3D and the nose and tail, and just the overall like rocker profile of the Mind Expander. It just makes it a very cruisy, very surfy board. And yeah, the new board that I picked up recently is the Ultra Mind Expander. You guys can kind of see it in the corner of the screen here. And the reason I went with the Ultra Mind Expander over the regular Mind Expander is that my kind of cruisy POW board is going to be the Battalion Surfer. So this one, it's in the name, Surfer, very surfy, cruisy style board. So I was looking for a third board that was like the aggressive all mountain board. So that's why I went with the Ultra Mind Expander. It's definitely gonna be like my board for like high speeds, for carving, for taking into powder, but like powder for like aggressive things like drops and like really pinning it. So that's why I went with the Ultra version, but it just depends on like, yeah, like what style of riding you want to do with the boards. So I think the regular Mind Expander, that's an awesome choice. A million pop off. I think, yeah, you're really gonna enjoy it. Super popular board. Hallett saying, "Hey Kevin, love your videos. Hope you have lots of fun this summer. I'm just starting snowboarding and bought a Capita OSL 160, Union Stratas and 32 lashed. Would love to hear your thoughts." Yeah, man, amazing setup. I think across all those three. I like the 32 lashed. I've had those a few times. Very comfortable boots, and they're softer, better for like beginners getting into snowboarding. So amazing setup. I think, yeah, you're killing it. I feel like when you're first getting into snowboarding too, it's like you put it together a setup that you like, don't spend a lot of money, and it's just gonna help you to progress. So awesome choice, man. And Ross saying, "Do you recommend BOA or lace boots for snowboarding?" For me, I really like laces. Like, I've had BOA snowboard. I've tried to get to like BOA snowboard boots, but I just have never found that I like them very much. For me, the BOAs, it feels like there's not enough like custom, like ability to customize the tightness of the boot compared to the traditional just laces. So I feel like when I'm cranking on the BOAs, it's like tightening the whole boot all in one. And I feel like it's like giving me tightness in some areas and it feels loose in others. And with the laces, I can really get it tight exactly how I like. So for me, I really like the traditional laces. I feel like they're the most comfortable. You get that like snug fit exactly where you want it. And for me too, like I have no trouble getting the laces tight enough. So I think it's like if you have trouble getting your laces tight enough, then maybe the boas help. But for me, it's like just doing the traditional laces is the way to go. So yeah, I recommend the traditional laces for sure. Man, tons of questions on here, guys. Thank you. JH saying, is it fun to snowboard? I have never in my life even seen snow, but we just moved to New Zealand, so maybe I'll see snow for the first time. Oh, amazing. Yeah, snowboarding, like I've pretty much made my life snowboarding. So it's my favorite thing to do. It's really fun. It's amazing. If you've never seen snow before, yeah, head to the mountains. I don't know if you live on the north or south island of New Zealand. If you're on the South Island, you have lots of big mountains and snow like not far off. I feel like in the North Island it may be a little bit more difficult. You may have to drive down to Mount Ruapehu or someplace like that. But yeah, definitely if you're in New Zealand, if you get the chance, go snowboarding. We have friends that live in Wanaka who moved to Wanaka not knowing that too much about snowboarding, and as soon as they arrived and saw what was happening, they got into snowboarding and absolutely love it. So it's one of those things. I think once you give it a try, and just being in the mountains is amazing. So yeah, definitely give it a try. And Daniel Roberts with a super chat as well. Thank you so much, man. Says, just bought the 2021 Team Exposure Board with Malavita bindings. What are your thoughts on this? Yeah, I don't know too much about the Team Exposure Board. That's interesting. I'll have to look that one up. But yeah, Malavita bindings, very reliable, great binding, comfortable, great ankle strap. So can't go wrong. I'll have to learn more about the Team Exposure Board though. Thanks for the super chat, Daniel Roberts. All right. Okay. Tons of great questions. Jason Levy says, what angle would you recommend on my Contact Pro bindings on my Capita Etterspace Living board? Capita Etterspace Living. So it kind of depends on you. Like if you are into learning tricks, and being in the park and like practicing your switch, then maybe have like a full twin stance. So sort of get the width comfortable for your height. And then like what I do is I do 15 in the front, negative 15 in the back. But try that out, see if it's comfortable. If those angles aren't comfortable, you can maybe take it down to 13 and 13. But for me, for park riding, I like to just have that ducked out stance. But yeah, it's a bit personal too. So play around with it, find out what's comfortable. But I would say start with plus 15, negative 15, a stance a little bit wider than your shoulder width, and just make sure that it's comfortable and looks like kind of okay as well. So yeah, give it a try, play around with it. But I think you have a great setup with the Contact Pro bindings and the Etterspace Living board. That should be super fun, man. All right, Banana Chew says, hey Kevin, thanks for keeping the stoke alive. Question, can you take an old comfy liner into a brand new boot? Definitely, yeah. I think there's some play between taking liners out of one boot and putting them into another. I would say, yeah, give it a try. Yeah, why not? If there's a liner that you love, and especially if it's in the same brand of boot, then go for it. For sure, yeah, try it out, see if it works. It's a good idea. All right, Talon Foreman says, which Dakine heli pack is good for everyday use? Not a lot of stuff. Good question, man. Yeah, so the backpack I've had in the last few years has been the Dakine Heli Pro. What liter did I have? I think I had like the 24 liter. I would say it kind of depends. It's like if you don't have much stuff, if you know you're not bringing much, maybe just water, some snacks, a few other things, then you can definitely get the bags that are on the slimmer size, like the low 20 liters, high teens. I'm not exactly sure what the Heli Pro, all the different sizes it comes in, but for me, I think I have the 24 liter. And but yeah, if you are bringing more stuff, then you can always go for a larger bag. But yeah, I think it's a great bag. I think it's around $100, and it's got some good function. You can fit a lot of stuff in it. It's got the snowboard carry straps for like a vertical snowboard carry, so it's got some cool functionality. It's not a great bag for like long hikes, but it's a good bag for short hikes. And yeah, for the resort, for throwing some stuff in, it's really functional. It's also got like the sunglasses case at the top with like the soft material to protect your glasses. So I like that. Yeah, great bag for sure. Cow, hey Kevin, would you recommend the Salomon Sleepwalker for park and just chill riding? Man, I haven't ridden that board yet, so I'm not sure, but I'll have to check it out. Robin says if I have skateboarding experience and I've been skiing before, should I have a problem learning how to snowboard? No, not at all. Especially like if you have skateboarding experience, it's gonna transfer like straight over into your snowboarding. Like skateboarding is, in my opinion, it's much more difficult than snowboarding. So the skateboard skills transfer over, and in my experience of watching people learn to snowboard, when they have a skateboard background, they pick up snowboarding so quick. So I think it'll be fine. The one difference is so you're coming from skiing as well. When you're skiing, you're really facing like the bottom of the hill the whole time, like with your chest and like your body's facing the bottom. The difference is when you start to snowboard, when you get onto your toe edge, your body's actually gonna start to face the top of the slope. So that's just like the one thing, the biggest difference I think between skiing and snowboarding is that when you get on your toes on a snowboard, you're more facing the top. So that's one like adjustment skiers need to make. But yeah, make the switch. I think if you love skateboarding, you'll definitely love snowboarding too. Red's Cap saying 86 in the house. Smash the like button, guys. Yeah, thank you, Reg. Yeah, if everyone can hit the like button, and if anyone's new to the channel, definitely subscribe and hit the bell beside the subscribe button to get notified every time I go live. And yeah, thank you guys. Thanks all the OGs for tuning in. Thanks for all the new people as well. And yeah, appreciate you guys. Let's see what else is going on here. Sam says, hey Kev, can you give me some advice on butters? Definitely, Sam. So I think the biggest thing with butters is really getting your weight into it. So sometimes it's like learning the technique is kind of, it can be difficult with the balance to really commit with all your weight. But start just like on a flat bit of snow, moving your weight over top of your tail or over top of your nose, and thinking about like your hips and putting your hips over top of the nose or tail of your snowboard, and that'll really help with your butters. And then on top of that, it's like make sure that your board is soft enough to flex for butters. Like when you're just starting snowboarding and learning butters, it can be difficult to get the technique down, especially with a stiff snowboard. So make sure, I'd recommend that your board you're trying to learn butters with is like a 3 or 4 or lower on the softness scale. That'll make butters so much easier. Noah Beck says, right now I have a Salomon Huck knife and was wondering if it is comparable to the GNU Headspace. Yeah, good question, man. I would say in some ways it is comparable. Both boards are twins. I would say the flex on both boards is similar, like a 3 or 4 on flex. So in that way, they're very similar. Even the pop, I think that comes out of both boards is kind of similar because the Huck knife, I think, is camber dominant. You still get a similar pop out of both boards. What I do like about the Headspace that the Headspace adds on is the Headspace has is ASIM. So the heel edge is a bit shorter than the toe edge. helping you to make like better heel side turns. And also the headspace has magnet traction. So if you ride somewhere with like firm or icy snow, the magnet traction helps like so much. So I think there's similar boards, and then the headspace adds a couple things on top of it. But yeah, both great fun boards for sure. Alex says, hey Kevin, is there a board from years past that you think holds up compared to the new stuff? How have boards changed over the years? Alex, awesome question, man. So I think a lot of the older boards do hold up for sure. I think where the newer boards probably, where the newer boards are making progress is in better quality materials, lighter weights, just more and also more durable materials as well. I think snowboard companies have figured out how to make their boards more durable. I remember when I was first getting into snowboarding, a big problem would be just boards like coming apart in one way or another. I can remember myself or with my friends having the top sheet come apart, some of the base coming apart, just things were like not holding together as good as they do today. So I would say like the number one thing is probably in the durability. The boards seem more durable today than ever. So the process of companies putting the boards together has gotten better. And then on top of that, I think the biggest change is just in the creativity, or like the way that board companies are experimenting now. They're doing way more crazy like POW designs. A few years ago, every board looked pretty much the same. It was like the popsicle stick shape, just that straight popsicle stick, which all boards kind of fit that same mold. And then most boards were camber too. Like I don't even think rocker wasn't invented until maybe only in the last 10 years or so have there been rocker boards. So every board was camber, every board was a popsicle stick, and there wasn't much difference. Where now it's like the creativity in the board shapes and designs and base profiles has changed like incredibly. And I think every year, and now I think what companies are really doing is adding in the 3D aspects of boards. So like with the 3D nose shapes, the 3D tail shapes, and even the 3D, like the way they're cutting out pieces of the base to do all kinds of crazy stuff. But yeah, just there's definitely more crazy things happening in snowboarding. So that's probably the biggest progression. Dawson Best says, what would better suit the DOA for all mountain, the Unistratas or Forces? Thanks, Kevin. I would say, I think for all mountain, probably the Forces. I think the Forces are like a little bit stiffer than the Stratas. So for all mountain riding, the stability helps you just handle chatter, helps you handle riding at speed and feeling more in control. So I'd probably go with the Forces. All right. Martin says, do you like snowboarding video games? Just curious. Not in recent years, but back a few years ago, maybe. Yeah, before I started the YouTube channel, I definitely played some more snowboard video games. But all my like computer or like screen time is really going into the channel now, opposed to video games. But I used to like love playing some snowboard video games like Steep. Yeah, what are SSX? Was that a game? Yeah, a few of those old games for like the PlayStation and Nintendo and all that. Definitely played some of those. Edgarani says, what kind of park board do you recommend that's not so expensive? Well, there's lots of them out there, lots of different park boards that are not too expensive. But yeah, you could check out, what are some ones that aren't too expensive? Like, man, the base model Capita park board, I can't think of the name at the moment. I actually own it, but Yeah, across every brand, there is that base level park board that is around just over around $300 American. And for your first park board, I think that's all you need, because you just kind of need that consistent, consistent park board that feels good for when you're learning tricks. So definitely, yeah, start at that base model. Man, there's not much coming to me at the moment, but yeah, you can look it up. Idle Stacker saying, have you tried to find one on sale? Yeah, at the moment, there are a lot of boards on sale too. So a lot of the 2020 snowboard gear is on sale. I picked up 3 boards recently. Each, there's a website, all the boards were half price, and I couldn't pass it up. So I ended up getting 3 boards, all from the 2020 season, all half price. So there's some good deals out there at the moment. Joey wants to know, what is your favorite board for powder? I feel like everyone knows on this channel. Most people know what my favorite powder board is. It's been the LibTech Orca the last couple years. Absolutely love that board for powder. I'm gonna switch it up this next season just to I can't ride the same board all the time. I'm gonna switch it up with some different style boards. So got the Ultra Mind Expander and got the Battalion Surfer to switch it up this season on with the powder. Stefan Mendoza with the super chat. Thanks for the support, man. Says, thanks for the live Q&A. I find after 2 seasons, I still prefer green slopes versus blues and blacks. Did I plateau or do you do even seasoned riders like to take it easy and cruise on greens? No, I don't think you've plateaued. I feel like there's lots of different styles and kinds of terrain to progress on and to just have fun snowboarding with. And if you like greens, then that's your preference and that's your style. And even for myself, sometimes with traveling, going to different resorts, a good example would be when we went to Revelstoke, BC the other year. The mountain was so big and steep that it kind of forced you into one style of riding for steep terrain, which was fun and it was cool for a change. But going a different place, the opposite style place, Japan is a good example of this, where all the runs are very mellow, green or bluish. And in that type of terrain, it just creates a whole different style of snowboarding. So even though you can still progress, you can still, ride at an advanced level, but just doing it in very mellow terrain just creates a different style of snowboarding. So, and to be honest, I do prefer the more mellow type of terrain, because in mellow terrain, you can almost take more chances because you know what's coming up next. And it's kind of fun to get some speed, maybe ride through the trees or do some carving on the runs, and doing it on a very mellow green type slope. And there's a lot of tricks too that are very much easier to learn on green slopes, like butters, or even practicing side hits. Doing it on a green style slope makes all that stuff more fun sometimes. So yeah, I think that's fine. I think that's great, man. Different styles for all different kinds of riders. Few shout outs: Sam Willis, Mass Mills, El Stacker, of course, Red's Cap, Rob again, A Million Pop Off again, Carrie Pierce is on here. What's up, Carrie? Catman Man Snow. Yeah, just to let you guys know too, some of the YouTubers that I may have a chance to collaborate with over the next couple weeks. I know at High Cascade, or at least at Mount Hood. So I'm going to be meeting up with TJ over from Board Archive, meeting him down in Portland, and we'll be riding together at the High Cascade camp. So can't wait to do that. We got Janice Spiteri is in at government camp over at Mount Hood. So looking forward to riding with her as well. And then Jonathan Buckhouse is going to be down there as well. So yeah, can't wait to ride with all those guys. Who else is going to be there? I feel like there's a few more riders. There's like so many people. Tommy's going to be down there as well. And also Toby Miller, I think, is training down at camp. So yeah, so many YouTubers all going to be down at Mount Hood. So really excited to meet up with some of those girls and guys and collaborate, make videos. So that's going to be super fun. Rami saying, what about the summer plans? Yeah, Rami. So the summer plans. So from the 5th to the 12th, we'll be at Mount Hood. And looking also at Switzerland. So Zermatt, Switzerland apparently has, it does have an amazing terrain park on the glacier. And I think that travel to Switzerland is going to open up to at least Canada and some other countries on the 20th. So the plan is on the 20th to get to Switzerland, as long as everything, like nothing changes, as long as it opens up, to get down to Switzerland to Zermatt and be there for 2 or 3 weeks or maybe longer. So that's the summer plan at the moment. And yeah, we'll see what else opens up. We'd be love to collaborate with David Jones as well. And maybe, I don't know what Ryan Napton's up to this summer, but maybe he'll make it to Mount Hood, and maybe some YouTubers over in Europe as well. So we're going to see. But at the moment, the summer plans, next week, Mount Hood, High Cascade, and then later in July, it'll be Zermatt, Switzerland, if everything goes to plan. There's lots of, at the moment, with the way things are happening in the world, travel is difficult. So even going down to Mount Hood, it's not 100% that they're even going to let me in. They may actually they might turn me around and send me home. So see what happens with that. And even going to Switzerland, they may change their policies around travel too. So everything is very last minute, but hopefully get to do a lot of snowboarding this summer. All right. And Dawson Best saying, do you think the DOA with Stratas will be too much for a new rider first board? I've been progressing very fast and don't want to limit myself by going for a beginner board. The DOA, it could be too stiff of a board. It's camber dominant. It's like a 5 or 6 out of 10 on stiffness. It kind of depends on what you want to do, to be honest. If you just want to ride all mountain, if you're like into groomers all mountain, then the DOA could be a good board for you. Kind of like beginner, taking you into intermediate and then into advanced. But if you're looking to learn tricks as well along the way, if you want to do like some butters or get into riding switch and doing some different tricks, then I would say the DOA may be too aggressive of a board. So I think if you're into doing tricks, maybe look at a softer board in the Capital lineup, or other softer boards out there. But if you're more into all mountain riding, especially like carving and just like having like a more stable board, then maybe the DOA. So it depends on what you want to progress on. Thomas wants to know, when was the last time you rode on lifts? Good question. Yeah, the last time I was on a chairlift was back at Big Bear in California. So when was that? That was like early March. So it's been since early March since I've been on a chairlift, and that was in Big Bear, California, with riding with David Jones, with TJ, with Janice, and had like an amazing time riding the terrain park at Bear Mountain. So yeah, that was the last time I've been on the lift. Since then, I did 3 snowboard hikes, like here in Whistler, up some of the mountains, 3 different hikes up 3 different mountains, which was, that was super tough, just like doing the straight hikes up the mountains with no chairlift. So once I get back on a chairlift, it's going to feel like, it's just going to feel like so easy compared to those 5-hour hikes up the snow. Rami with the super chat. Thanks, Rami, for the support, man. Says, are we from BC allowed to go to Oregon? I gave up going to High Cascade because I thought we couldn't get down there. So apparently you're not allowed to drive down to the States, but there's been I guess you can fly because a lot of people, there's been like news stories where people have been flying to the States and it's totally fine. So yeah, so I'm gonna fly down. I'm flying from Vancouver to Seattle, renting a car, and then driving to Portland to pick up TJ, and then going to government camp. So apparently you can fly, but it's I think it's still a gamble. People say that you can do it, but like, yeah, who knows? I feel like because things are changing so much, maybe they've put a stop to it, or I'm not sure. But I'm gonna try to fly. If I get denied, then I'll come back here and just make some other kind of content. But yeah, at the moment, yeah, you're right. You're not allowed to drive to the States, but apparently you can fly. So I'm gonna try that. And Kernell4 with the super chat as well says, "What do you think about Burton Easy Livin' series? I got a secondhand 2016 version by Danny Davis. Any thoughts on Peace Park?" Awesome, man. Yeah, so I actually rode the Burton Easy Living. Maybe it was 10 years ago now, but I really like that board. I guess from what I remember, it's like a mid flexing camber snowboard. And yeah, I really liked it. Yeah, the Burton Easy Living is super fun. Fun for the terrain park, and kind of like a mid flex, so good stability for riding all around. And yeah, Danny Davis, a really cool pro snowboarder for Burton, who came up with the Peace Park. And yeah, the Peace Park looks amazing. It's like that custom park they build and invite pro riders to. And it looks incredible. Some of the videos online about Danny Davis and the Peace Park are really good. So those guys are killing it. Would love to someday maybe check one out. But yeah, those guys are doing a really cool thing. And Rami, I hope that if you change your mind, maybe watch and see if I get down, and if I get down, maybe you can come down as well. It'd be fun to do some laps down at Mount Hood. All right. Tom Bullock says 165 of snow here in Chile. More snow is on the way, but all the resorts are closed for Corona. Oh, sorry to hear that. Oh, that's amazing. So you guys have had 165 centimeters of snow in Chile. Wow, that's amazing. I'm missing Chile so much. I wanted to go back this summer, but I'm sorry that the resorts are closed too. That's a real bummer. I hope that things turn around for you guys and things open up. Noah Beck says, "Kevin, what is your favorite snowboard obstacle?" Awesome question, Noah. Probably like a medium jump is my favorite style of jump. I feel like that's the most like versatile for me for learning and progressing with a variety of tricks. And sort of like a rail feature would probably be like a flat, like a medium flat rail. That's not like too skinny. I don't like the rails that are too skinny is a bit too advanced for me, but like a medium skinny rail would be really fun to have to practice on as well. So between those two, I'd be down. And Rami with the super chat saying, "I'm checking flights right now." Awesome, Rami. So I had to fly to Seattle, man, because to fly to Portland, there was like a 4 hours, like there's no direct flights to Portland. At least when I checked, there was no direct flights. So I had to, fly to Seattle. In Motion SLB saying, go, Rami. Yeah. El Stacker saying, "Rami, let's go." El Stacker, are you going to Mount Hood? Let me know, man. I've noticed there's no potatoes in the chat either. Do you guys have any food preferences you want to drop into the chat? It'd be cool to see what everyone's eating out there. Cow asking, "Are you ever going to come to Big Snow in New Jersey?" I would love to get out to New Jersey to the indoor snowboard slope there. New Jersey is it's not like your typical snowboard destination, but for the indoor slope, I would definitely make the trip. So maybe this summer, who knows? Maybe I'll end up in New Jersey on an indoor slope. And Tom Bullock saying impossible split boarding near Santiago, full quarantine now. In the south, maybe you can. Yeah, that's when we went last year. The snow season in the north near Santiago was like very bare slopes, not much snow. So we ended up going far south to Coralco in the town Malacoello. So that was where we found the best snow for sure. It was way down south. So yeah, maybe people in the south are doing some split boarding adventures and all that kind of stuff if the resorts are closed. El Stacker sending some potatoes from Idaho. Thanks, man. And Talon wants to know, have you ever thought about going to other places in Canada? Yeah, absolutely, man. There's so many different amazing resorts and big mountains in Canada, like from with the Rockies and everything like that, with Banff, Jasper, Golden Mountain, like a bunch near Revelstoke. It would be Fernie, tons of places to visit in Canada. So that's something I need to definitely hit up some more of the local ski resorts in Canada. Highland Cow, what is your favorite type of snow? Definitely Japan. That Japan powder is the absolute best. Just I feel like when it's insanely light and deep, you just can't ask for anything more. In Motion SLB, I feel like we have some kind of psychic connection, man, with the drop in the carrots, because I actually had a carrot juice right before the chat. Can you tell? Are my teeth stained orange from the carrots? I don't know. Noah says, Kevin, have you ever thought of doing fingerboarding with David? Yeah, I would love to do some fingerboard vids with David. He just I'm waiting for the invitation. David, send me in. Well, I feel like we would maybe have done a fingerboard video if the travel to New Zealand was possible. There'd be some kind of fingerboard angle. But because New Zealand's closed, not going to be able to collab with David for a while. But maybe that'll give me some time to practice my fingerboard skills before I see him next. So I actually tried to order a David Jones Pro Model fingerboard. So hopefully those get restocked and I can get a David Jones board. Oh, a million Popoff dropping one of the classic quotes from over the years. Japausen Hole. Yeah, Japausen Hole. That's Jackson Hole, I would say, is one of the closest snowboard experience we've had to the Japau. And also Grand Targhee near Jackson Hole as well. Super light, deep powder, and that was some pretty comparable snow. And Narav he's maybe on here. In Motion SLB. No, that's Yannick. Shred 1904. He dropped the Japausen Hole quote. Al Stacker with the tea and a burrito for lunch. Was that an iced tea, El Stacker, or did you just have like a hot tea with a burrito? It's an interesting combo. Kashik saying, hey Kevin, checking in from BC. When we going to see you on some more Canadian boards? Oh, good request, man. Yeah, let me know. Hit me up what Canadian boards you want me to try out. Talon Foreman, how's Jill? Yeah, Jill's doing good. Jill and my sister's visiting from Vancouver, so they're up here hanging out, and Jill's doing amazing. I think Jill's gonna come with us to Switzerland, so if Jill comes to Switzerland, we'll get Jill on a snowboard and do some videos with her as well. Oh, a Stacker is saying he had the iced tea for lunch. It wasn't just it wasn't a hot tea. It was an iced tea. Good call, man. And In Motion SLV saying Endeavor. Yeah, it'd be cool to try out some Endeavor snowboards. I know that they're based. I guess their offices are in Vancouver, and I'm not sure where their boards are made. But yeah, it'd be cool to check out some Endeavor snowboards as well. It's kind of funny, like here in Whistler, we don't see that many Endeavor snowboards around for some reason. I can't think of a store that they're in, but yeah, it'd be cool to try. I've never tried an Endeavor snowboard, so maybe we'll get the chance. All right. Julius Steckley saying weird boards. Yeah, it would be cool. Yeah, getting on weird boards is really fun as well. The Battalion Surfers is a pretty weird board. It's like that, the crazy 3D shaped nose with the massive swallowtail is like a definitely a unique shape. So that's like a fun kind of board to get on, kind of like a weird shape to try out. Catchy saying, if I happened to run into you at Whistler and you weren't too busy, would you be willing to do a possible family skill building segment for your channel with me, the wife, and 2 kids? Yeah, that'd be fun. Catchy, so catchy handle. If I see you on the mountain, it'd be fun to like hang out, maybe make a short video with the fam, like yeah, giving everyone some tips. Snowboard skill family edition. Yeah, that'd be super fun, man. Well, yeah, hopefully I see you up in the mountain. If you see me, just flag me down and remind me that we talked on the chat. And yeah, that'd be super fun. All right, Betram wants to know, what's the difference between a split board and a non-split board? So a split board is kind of, I guess, like in the name. So the board actually splits like right down the middle into like 2 skis. So the reason you would want a split board is because when you're doing hikes, instead of carrying your board on your back and like walking up in snowshoes, your board can just split apart. You put it on the ground, and the bindings actually like can come off and then turn for like and go on more straight onto the skis, so that you can then walk up the mountain on your 2 skis. And on the bottom of the skis, you actually like attach this like carpet sort of material so that it doesn't slide. It slides forward, but it doesn't slide back. So yeah, split boards are amazing if you're into doing like backcountry hikes, because yeah, you don't have to carry the board on your back. You can walk on it with your feet. The length of the skis keep you on top of the snow. And then when you get to the place on the mountain where you want to go to, the board goes back together. There's like little like latches that latch it all back together so that it's snug into one. The bindings come off and then go back into your snowboard stance. And then you're set to go back into snowboard mode. So yeah, split boards are super fun, and they're a little bit more expensive because of all the tech that goes into them. But if you like doing hikes on a regular basis, a split board can really be the way to go. Another way to do it is like, you don't have to have a split board. I find like sometimes on like certain hikes where the snow is more inconsistent, it can actually be easier to hike with snowshoes, because snowshoes are a little bit more like versatile, and just have like a good backpack that you carry your snowboard on your strap it to your bag. So that's kind of like the other way to do it too. So yeah, a couple of cool options there, but yeah, split boards are pretty fun. All right, so what is going on? Joseph Gregory saying, my dad was one of the first British snowboarders. Oh, very cool. What was your dad's name? Maybe we can look him up if he's in the British Snowboard Hall of Fame or something. Yeah, what's your Joseph Gregory? That's cool, man. He's one of the snowboard pioneers. Talon wants to know, if you were to only ride one brand of board for the rest of your life, what brand would it be? Oh man. Well, because of how much I've loved the Orca and also the headspace, the GNU headspace, even though one's Libtech, one's GNU, they're made like in the same factory. So I would probably go with I guess I would go with the Mervin brand. They're built under like their company that owns Libtech and GNU is called Mervin, so I'd probably go with Mervin, Libtech, GNU. Yeah, that's what I would go with. Trying some different boards this year, so I'll see if that changes this time next year. We'll experiment with some other boards. Dever says, why don't you come to Israel to do snowboarding? Would love to. Yeah, maybe get the chance to do some snowboarding in Israel next winter. I've never really heard about snowboarding in Israel, so I don't know too much about it. So I'll have to look into it and maybe make the trip. That'd be pretty cool. I know that we were looking at snowboarding in India next winter, so that's a possibility as well. It'd be cool to explore some of the lesser known snowboard destinations in the world. Joseph saying he started snowboarding in 1983. Amazing, man. That's going back there. Yeah, I guess snowboarding really started kicking off in the early 80s, so that was the time. And Arnaud saying, hey, this snow vacation, I did my first ever grind. Awesome. Congrats, man. That's amazing. Yeah, first grinds, that's like a big milestone. And On says, hey, from Israel. Another person from Israel saying, love the channel. Have you ever tried the Endeavor Pioneer? It is also capable at speeds despite the mid-soft flex. Awesome. I haven't tried the Endeavor Pioneer, but yeah, would look into some more Endeavor boards and look into maybe coming out to Israel at some point. Shout out to all the snowboarders over in Israel. That's amazing. Santiago, hey, just wanted to say great content, mate. Keep it up. Awesome. Thank you, Santiago. And Kaz saying Aussie season underway with crowd limits and not a lot of snow yet. I hope you guys get some snow soon. And I guess it's going to be a bit tricky. A lot of places have the different protocols in for limiting the number of people on the mountain, less people on the chairlifts with like the lift lines. So I can imagine it's going to be like a tricky season down south for sure. And Hallett says, if you guys are coming this way, stop by Turkey. Would love to show you guys around. Awesome. Thank you, man. Yeah, snowboarding in Turkey. That would be another destination that probably a lot of people don't know about, maybe outside of Turkey, but it would be cool to do a snowboard trip to Turkey. That'd be pretty crazy. A Million Popoff says Cam Rock or C2X. Oh man. Yeah, they are both good. I would say, oh man, it's tough. It's it's hard to compare those two. I think Camrock is probably there's more boards with Camrock, and I think there are more Camrock boards that are on the stiffer side of things. So if you're looking for a board that has that stiffness ability, then maybe Camrock is the way to go. And C2X, I feel like is, oh man, but the Orca is C2X. C2X is really cool too. C2X, I feel like for me has been amazing for getting that spring off the back foot because of the camber under your feet. The C2X has a cool thing because the rocker between the feet and towards the tips make it help float really well in the snow. But then the camber zones under your feet give you a lot of pop and also like stability with the board. So that's amazing. And then Camrock, there's so many different combinations or camber levels across all the different brands that it's hard to like really say, put your finger on like one style of Camrock. So I like them both, but yeah, that's a good question, man. Noah Beck, have you tried the Union Flight Pro bindings? If so, how would you rate them on a park setup? I haven't tried those bindings, but I know that they are like sort of like a entry level binding for Union, and they're on the softer side. So yeah, good for park. I would say that if you're a beginner to low intermediate park rider, then the Union Flight Pros are a good pair. El Stacker, cannonball the like button. Appreciate it, man. Thomas saying, should try out the Up Battle Splitboard Derby race in Scotland next year too. Oh, that'd be amazing. I've never heard of a splitboard derby race. That'd be super fun. I'll have to learn about that. Maybe maybe a snowboard trip to Scotland is in the books. Ooh, and Santiago saying, you need a book for the ticket like 1 month before you go here in Australia. Oh man, yeah, that's tricky to like have to book all your tickets in advance. And On says a personal question, which jumps do you like more, park or natural features? I feel like I like the park features, probably park features more just because they're very consistent, so you can really like just, you know, for progressing on tricks, to have that consistent feel on a jump that you know it's going to feel the same like every single time you hit it, gives you a bit more confidence when like progressing with tricks. So probably a park jump is my favorite. El Stacker saying, I've been planning a trip to Mount Hood. El Stacker, oh, maybe I'll see you there. July 5th to the 12th. Look into it, man. I guess, where you are, Idaho, you're not too far away. Maybe like a 8-hour drive. What's the drive between Mount Hood and where you live? Make the drive, dude. And Adam Searles wants to know, any new merch updates, Kev? No, not yet. Still working on the beanies, so hopefully have some new beanies for you guys this summer. Sweet. Cool, guys. Thinking to call the live chat there, but thank you guys all for tuning in. It was awesome to be on here just to hang out for the hour and answer you guys' questions. And I hope you guys are all doing well out there, enjoying the summer or coming into the winter down south. So yeah, big shout out. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. And yeah, if you guys haven't yet, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell beside, because I do one of these live chats every Thursday. And yeah, big shout out to all the OGs. Thanks all the new people for tuning up as well. And yeah, you guys really killed it with the questions this week. So yeah, next week when I'm doing the live chat, I'll be down at Mount Hood. So hopefully get to meet some of the people on here down at Mount Hood. If anyone's going to be at the High Cascade Camp, it would be cool to meet you guys. If you see me, just come up and say hello. It's always amazing to meet people on the mountain and in camp. And yeah, should be good times. Hopefully get to collaborate with some of the other YouTubers that'll be down there. And I'm excited to test out some of my new boards. Excited to try out the Capita Outsiders down at Hood and some of the new bindings. Maybe I'll bring down the Ultramind Expander as well. And yeah, we'll see what happens with summer snowboarding if Switzerland happens as well. So that's a chance as well. But yeah, until next week, guys, awesome talking to you. I hope everyone has a great week. And yeah, have fun out there snowboarding, guys. I'll see you in the next one soon.